Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to go over the 2024 Nucanoe Flint. I'm going to go over really some of the things that haven't changed from year to year, but they have made some key changes to this kayak that really make it a better value proposition. In other words, you're getting more for your money. Really some changes that I've known about for a little bit. I've been really excited to talk about, so we'll go over those. Stay tuned to the end of the video. I'll give my thoughts and opinions on this kayak and Nucanoe as a whole moving forward. But anyways, guys, we'll get right into it. Nucanoe Flint for 2024 is going to come in just 3 colors. So it comes out with Army Camo on the Nucanoe Flint, which is new for this year. A new color, or maybe a color from yesteryear, in the Nuclear Green. So Nuclear Green, which you see here, is kind of a new color for this year, obviously, but they've done a version of it in the past along with the Hazard Orange. They do bring Hazard Orange back for 2024, but you're only going to see that in the Unlimited series. So the 3 colors, they did eliminate the Tundra color for the Flint and the Patrol Blue for the Flint, which I was a big fan of personally, of the Patrol Blue, but you're just getting those 3 colors here for 2024. Another thing that they've got is the grip, the comfort grip handles on the front. I'm not normally a fan of comfort grip handles, but these handles are a little different. It's a little bit more of a rubberized feel. It's the entire handle that does this. You don't have the woven fabric that sun and water just wreak havoc on. And the handles are also covered by Nucanoe's lifetime replacement on the parts, which is a real thing. I've used it personally, not necessarily on the handles, but if any part of this kayak falters in any way, Nucanoe is going to replace those parts for free. You do pay shipping, but with the Postal Service, that's really not a huge cost, especially when you're talking about a couple of handles. Moving on back, you do have the deck padding kit that you've had on the past. They have made some changes on that. I'll go over here in a second, but that is meant to really keep you quiet while on the water, and that's really why we kayak fish, to be honest. So you get that stealth feel. Banging on plastic is like beating a drum underwater, and it's going to make the fish scatter, or it's going to make them skittish and not want to bite. So I like the fact that they do a premium padding kit on this kayak. And then moving on back, of course, you've got an ample tank well. You have more than enough storage for your Black Pack Pro, a battery pack if you're motorizing this kayak. You still have the options to add a pedal drive or a motor to this kayak. Nucanoe sells their own electronic propulsion system, and all of Nucanoe kayaks have that flat transom. So that also gives you the ability to do maybe a little bit more budget-friendly, clamp on trolling motors. You can do that with a tiller arm attachment. It's basically just a longer stem that allows you to steer it from your seated position. And another thing they brought back this year, obviously, is the seat adjustments. So the Flint does not have the high and low seat adjustments, but it does have the ability to trim the kayak seat forward and backward, almost the length of the kayak. This is a huge, huge feature, in my opinion, because it allows you to level out the weight of your kayak. If you're overloaded in the back, you don't want the front of that kayak to come up. It's going to make that kayak go back and forth as you're paddling it. And also, it allows you to adjust the seat for your height, because you don't have the adjustable foot pegs on the Flint. You have molded in footrest, so it allows you to maintain that middle of boat position that's going to allow you to really maximize the performance of the paddling on this kayak. So looking at the bottom of the hull, again, unchanged for the Flint, you have that really, really sharp keel line on the Flint. So that really helps with your tracking performance, your straight line paddling, and that prevents a lot of that back and forth, right to left as you're paddling it. The Flint is one of the best tracking performance paddle kayaks that I've ever been on, and that just means if you're paddling, it allows you to get up to speed quicker, and when you stop paddling, your boat continues to move straight instead of veering off to the one side or the other. Okay, so let's go over the changes that they made for 2024. Now, I talked a little bit about the color options, but they've done some really, really just amazing changes to this kayak. They're small changes, but they're changes that make this kayak better moving forward. Now, one of the big changes has been the fasteners. So the fasteners that attach the kayak to the boat, in years past, they were these tall plastic knobs, these smooth knobs, and it was all plastic. So if you ever started it, kind of crooked or cross-threaded, once you got that screw dug into there, it's done. You had to throw it away, you were buying additional or sending in for additional parts. They've got it's kind of, you got these ridges on the outside, which gives it a better grip, especially with wet hands. And also you have the metal inserts on the knobs, which to me, that is such a huge change because it allows you a little quicker process of attaching the seat to the kayak or adjusting it, just a couple of twists with that and be able to slide that seat, or taking it completely off is a lot easier to do. Also, you have a lot less fear of cross-threading your knobs onto that T-bolt. Another thing, and this is my biggest change with this kayak, is the seating position. They have lowered the seating position on the Flint. So you've got a little bit of, on the seat bottom, it reclines backwards a little bit, which allows you a more seated position. That just means you've got a little bit more securement. You're not sliding around as much, and allows you to get more leverage for your paddle performance. The seat, the front of the seat, it kind of angles upward. That gives you a better support on the backs of your legs, and again, that gives you more leverage as well, in addition to your molded in footrest there. But what it does is it lowers that center of gravity. It makes maybe in years past, a lot of people would say the Flint felt a little tippy to them. So this lowers that center of gravity while still giving you a higher position, and it is still a suspended frame seat, but it's not so high up, and you get a lot more control over your kayak, in my opinion, with this. I'm definitely interested to see how this handles on the rivers and creeks. I'll definitely have that video coming out soon enough, but just know they asked a lot of their pro staff, a lot of their dealers, which we were one of those, about changing that seat height, and it was a resounding yes. So you do have that. So not only do you have the lower position, you have the upgraded fasteners, you also have additional deck padding on into the bow of the kayak. Now this makes installing the removable gear pod on the front a lot better. It's a lot less noisier, and just a better, more premium look, in my opinion. So you get all of these extra things for, well, the price. The price went down in 2024 to $1,099 for the Nucanoe Flint. So for $100 less than previous years, you get a better seating position, you get upgraded fasteners, you get additional deck padding on it, and an already phenomenal kayak, which gives a tremendous value. So if you've seen my video about the kayak industry, I told you that you're gonna see a lot more value-driven features. Not only did the price go down, but you got more for what you're paying for, and you're backed by a lifetime warranty on the parts. So if anything on the kayak really falters, you can order them directly from Nucanoe. You just pay shipping, and then they come in the mail here in just a few days. So they are a U.S. company. They are being mailed from the U.S. The person you're talking to is the person that is mailing the parts to you. So that's what you get with a U.S. company. Nucanoe has just really built a cult-like following on their customer service and their warranty. This year is no different. You're getting a lot better value with the Flint, and the Flint really compares very well to other kayaks in that $1,000 price point as well. So anyways, guys, what do you guys think? Are you happy about the changes with the Nucanoe Flint? Do you own a Flint? What's your experience with the Flint? Maybe some things you liked, maybe some things you didn't like about it. And has these changes corrected some of those problems? Let us know down in the comments below. If you have any questions about the Nucanoe Flint and you want to ask me directly, let me know down below as well. I check all the comments. I don't respond to every single comment, but typically about 95% of them I do. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. We'll see you on the next one.